probably not, obviously not happy we won or lost, but yeah. Bodies, yeah, physically, sure, yeah.
How tough was it out there with those guys just keying on and took 16 hits, 6 sacks, just how physical, aggressive, and everything?
Yeah, they're a really good team. I think on the sack end, there's things that I can help to do to try and get it out as quick as possible, just so we're not in the negative first and second down. So things, we got to learn from.
Dillon Gabriel just proved that sometimes winning the starting job doesn't mean you earned it. It means the football gods were bored and needed a plot twist. His reaction to beating out Shedeur Sanders? Man, it had less QB1 swagger and more group project kid who did the PowerPoint slides energy. You ever seen someone celebrate like they're still waiting for the teacher to say, good job? That's Dillon. And the way this is unfolding, it's spiraling faster than one of his overthrown passes. Right now, Dillon Gabriel is living the backup quarterback's ultimate fantasy. The kind where you wake up, look around, and realize you didn't climb the mountain. You just got airlifted to the top because the boss liked your vibe. The dude's entire rise feels like a job promotion gone rogue. Stefanski saw him and thought, he's steady, he's safe, he won't crash the playbook. Translation, he's the football version of plain white toast. No flavor, no spice, but hey, he won't burn the house down. But deep down, everybody in that Browns locker room knows what's coming.
Fans, you did not win the game today. Today might have been one of the worst games y'all done lost in a mighty long time. Everybody and their mama is extremely frustrated with Kevin Stefanski and the offense. The offense cannot get going. And I mean, at this point, Dillon Gabriel has proven he do not need to be a starter in the National Football League.
Shedeur Sanders is right there, cooler than an ice bath, smoother than a Sunday sermon, just waiting for his cue to light the whole show on fire. The air around him hums with that rare kind of energy that makes veterans nervous and rookies starstruck. You can practically feel the tension every time he walks by Dillon, like the walls know who the real star is. And here's where it gets wild. Experience sounds golden until it starts rusting. You can brag about being seasoned, but if all that seasoning's just salt, it still tastes bland. Dillon's been in the league long enough to collect stories, not trophies. It's like boasting about still using a flip phone because it never crashes. Sure, it works, but no one's impressed anymore. Stefanski's betting on Gabriel's experience, but that's just code for playing it safe. Because let's be honest, time on the field doesn't always build greatness. Sometimes it just builds habits that never change.
Got a couple of things involving the Browns. Continued fallout around, well, Kevin Stefanski being the Cleveland Browns coach. At least, I think he's still the Cleveland Browns coach. Let me make sure. Kevin yeah. When I was getting everything together for this video about 2 hours ago, he was still employed. He is still employed. I'm sorry, Browns fans. That's up to the second for you guys. This is another.
Lately, it feels like Dillon Gabriel's real superpower isn't playing football. It's doing the bare minimum so cleanly that people confuse it for strategy. He's mastered the art of looking busy while standing still. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is in the Shedeur WS, cool as ice, watching it all unfold like a chess master studying a checkers match. Every throw in warm-ups, every rep in practice, every sideline camera shot, it all feels like a slow-motion countdown to his takeover. Shedeur doesn't even need to talk. His confidence walks into the room before he does. It's that quiet kind of dominance that doesn't brag. It just waits for the scoreboard to back it up. And trust me, the fans can feel it too. Every time Dillon tosses another safe 5-yard check down on 3rd and 8, the crowd lets out that tired sigh. You know the one? The here we go again sigh? That's what experience looks like when it's running out of gas. Dillon's stuck in that veteran comfort zone, like someone refusing to update their computer for 5 years until it finally crashes mid-presentation. He's clinging to the myth that safe equals smart, even when that so-called safety is driving the offense slower than a busted-up minivan on the side of the road. His game is predictable, steady, and about as exciting as watching traffic lights change.
To address this from Dillon Gabriel yesterday, Patrick Quinn goes on a blitz at Dillon Gabriel, and as Patrick is on his way up, Dillon Gabriel does this. Kind of weird, but whatever. Now, this is his passing chart from yesterday. All 52 passes. What do you guys notice here? A lot of them are behind the line of scrimmage or barely in front of it. Now, 2 passes I saw, they basically dropped. A lot of them were behind the receivers, but this is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about when we say we know exactly.
He takes the scenic route when there's a clear highway right next to him. No risks, no spice, just vibes. And sure, for a coach like Stefanski, who treats chaos like it's contagious, That kind of steady probably feels like a warm blanket. But football doesn't reward comfort, it punishes it. The game is built on guts, creativity, and that little streak of madness that turns plays into legends. That's what Shedeur Sanders has in his DNA. He's not just a quarterback, he's a full-blown show. The kind of player who makes you freeze mid-snack, eyes locked on the screen because you just know something wild is about to happen. Wait, did he really just do that? Every move Shedeur Sanders makes feels like it was crafted for a highlight reel narrated by destiny itself. When he takes control, the entire game shifts like it knows who's boss. The line blocks cleaner, the receivers suddenly look faster, and even the crowd starts buzzing like they're witnessing a miracle in motion. And no, it's not luck, it's presence. That invisible fire only a few athletes are born with, the kind that turns pressure into performance and chaos into choreography. Presence can't be taught no matter how many seasons you've played or how many playbooks you've memorized. Dillon Gabriel's got that I studied hard look, the kind that screams preparation without inspiration.
This is the NFL. We have to be better, and that's the we. I have to be better for this football team. Our coaches have to be better for this football team. Our players have to be better for this football team. But bottom line is, there's things that will hold you back from winning, and you got to knock those out so you give yourself a chance. He's a tough kid. We got to keep him clean. Obviously, when the game turns into how it turned, the two-score game, you have to drop back, and that's a tough team to drop back versus. But he kept battling. It wasn't for lack of effort by him or by anybody. Made some plays.
Watching him play is like watching someone dance with perfect footwork but no rhythm. You can respect the effort, but you don't feel the groove. And Stefanski, you can already see that look creeping across his face, the one coaches get when denial starts losing the fight against reality. That mix of dread and pride when they realize the inevitable switch is coming. He keeps hyping up Dillon's leadership, like that's supposed to distract fans from the fact that the offense looks like it's running on training wheels. But let's be real, leadership without results is just poetry and cleats. Eventually, the scoreboard demands touchdowns, not metaphors. You can give locker room speeches all day, but the fans want fireworks, not bedtime stories. And oh, the irony, the very experience Stefanski swears by is what's about to collapse under its own weight. When that happens, and it will, Shedeur's name is going to glow off that roster like a neon sign cutting through the night. Because when preparation meets opportunity, you don't just get moments, you get magic. That's Shedeur's trademark. Picture it. The Browns' offense is sputtering, another third down wasted on a timid check down. The crowd starts to rumble, the tension thick enough to cut with a helmet visor. Stefanski glances down the sideline.
He runs Kevin Stefanski's offense to a T, which is what Stefanski wants. The difference between Gabriel and Shedeur.
And there he is, Shedeur Sanders, helmet strapped, eyes locked, aura blazing. You can feel the shift before he even steps onto the field. Because when that moment finally comes, it won't just be about proving he belongs, it'll be about rewriting the rule book. Experience had its turn, now it's time for electricity. Because football's not a seniority contest, it's a stage. And Shedeur's about to own it. Football is a performance business, plain and simple. And Shedeur Sanders, his patience is running out, while the fans' excitement is heating up like a halftime pyrotechnic show. Experience might buy Dillon Gabriel time, but excitement is what pays the bills and fills the stands. And right now, Shedeur is pure voltage, lighting up every conversation, every practice, every camera lens that catches him. Meanwhile, Dillon's so-called game management is starting to look less like veteran wisdom and more like hesitation in HD. The man's playing scared, like his worst fear is ending up on ESPN's Not Top 10. And that's not leadership, that's survival. That's the vibe of a guy who knows he's holding a temporary pass, not a permanent key. He's not building the future, he's renting it. Meanwhile, Shedeur carries himself like the future already belongs to him, because...
But nobody anticipated it being this bad, you know. Even me. If anybody should be mad, it should be me, because I'm the only one that predicted 8-9. So if anybody should be upset, it's me. But when you watch it, like, when you watch this team play, like, there's no excitement. You know, the only exciting thing about this team is the defense. And once a team scores 20-plus points, or even if they go up 14, it's kind of like, that's it. Like, that's...
Let's be honest, it does. Stefanski's favoritism feels less like strategy and more like comfort food. He's clinging to what's familiar, even if it's flavorless. It's the coaching equivalent of reheating leftovers instead of trying a new recipe. And yeah, it might fill you up for a bit, but once someone gets a taste of something better, those leftovers don't look so good anymore. And that moment's coming fast. You can feel it in the locker room. Players aren't blind. They sense when the balance is shifting. They know when one guy's the spark and the other's just the smoke after the flame's gone out. You can almost hear it in the whispers after practice, see it in the sidelong glances. They're waiting for that moment when talk turns into action, and action turns into a quarterback change that feels like destiny. When that switch finally happens, the narrative's gonna flip faster than a bad pancake under pressure, because that's football. No one wants to admit they were wrong until the scoreboard does it for them. And when Shedeur finally steps into that starting role, he's not just going to win games, he's going to rewrite them.
Stefanski's dead body before you put Shedeur in willingly. He's not going. Y'all, you think a head coach who didn't acknowledge somebody's presence all year long, somebody who don't even want to say somebody's name, somebody who can't even give details about their progress as a player, as a rookie in the NFL, is going to willingly in over their guy? No, no, no. Y'all, Dan Lanning and Kevin Stefanski is like this. Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel is like this. That's his guy. Kevin Stefanski.
The pace, the energy, the creativity, all the things Dillon's been too careful to touch, Shedeur's going to blow straight through with swagger and style. He's not there to fit in. He's there to take over. For all the talk about earning it, the truth is simple. Some players are just built different. Dillon Gabriel fits into a system like a puzzle piece. Shedeur Sanders creates the system from scratch. That's the gap between experience and excellence. You can train a guy to memorize plays, but you can't train him to own the moment. That's not something you teach. It's something you are. That's instinct. That's charisma. That's Shedeur Sanders. Meanwhile, Stefanski's still clutching that comfort blanket called veteran reliability, trying to convince everyone it's a strategy instead of a fear of change. But the rest of the league? They're watching from a distance with popcorn in hand because they've seen this movie before. The cautious coach, the underestimated star, and the moment when destiny finally kicks down the door. And when that shift happens, it won't feel shocking, it'll feel inevitable, because when the dust settles, no one's going to talk about Dillon's years of experience. They'll talk about the rise of Shedeur Sanders, the throws that looked impossible, the drives that electrified the field, the swagger that turned a dead offense into a live wire show. That's what people remember, because every so-called veteran presence eventually becomes a trivia question in a remember when story. The kind that ends with, yeah, but then Shedeur took over. And just like that, boom, football crowns a new hero. One week you're the coach's favorite, the next you're standing on the sideline holding a clipboard, watching the rookie make it all look effortless.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, he's making it a point to not play Shedeur. He's tired of the questions. He's tired of people like me and everybody else that's commenting say Shedeur needs to play. He's purposely not going to put him in. He is flexing on everybody that is in media, that are fans, that are asking the same questions that I'm asking, when are we going to see Shedeur? And if it is up to him and Gabriel is healthy, we're probably never going to see him this season. But at this point, as bad as this organization is, I don't even know if I want him to play.
That's the cold reality of the game. It moves fast, and it forgets faster. But here's the thing. Dillon's biggest issue isn't that he's bad. It's that he's ordinary. And ordinary doesn't survive long when extraordinary is breathing down its neck. Shedeur isn't built to wait forever. He's too competitive, too naturally gifted, and way too confident to play the background while the offense keeps stalling like an engine on empty. You can't keep lightning in a bottle, and sooner or later, Stefanski's going to have to let it strike, because once Shedeur gets that shot, there's no going back. The era of safe and steady ends where Shedeur's highlight reel begins. Every snap Dillon Gabriel takes feels like borrowed time, and everyone in that stadium can hear the clock ticking louder with each down. You can practically see the storyline writing itself. One bad interception, one flat performance, one hint of frustration from the fans, and boom, Shedeur Sanders steps in. And when that moment comes, it won't be a temporary fix or a one-week trial. It'll be the birth of a whole new era, a full-blown identity shift that changes everything. Because once Shedeur gets rolling, you don't bench him, you build around him. Picture it.
Very hard on those avoidable penalties, which are the pre-snap penalties. Obviously, we had an illegal formation there in the game. We have to be better in those areas, and then you have to play with clean technique. That's always going to be a part of this as well. Understanding that your hand placement, how you.
Shedeur jogs onto the field, adjusts his helmet, eyes locked, calm but dangerous. The entire energy flips like a switch. The receivers suddenly run sharper routes. The offensive line digs in harder, and the crowd rises before the ball even snaps. It's not magic, it's magnetism. Shedeur doesn't just want to win games, he wants to redefine how the Browns play football. For a team that's been stuck idling in neutral, he's the ignition they've been praying for. Meanwhile, Dillon represents the old system, the one obsessed with caution over creativity. He's the safe hands quarterback, steady, polite, dependable, and painfully predictable. The kind of player coaches love because he doesn't scare them, but fans can't stand because he doesn't excite them. He's the reason the stadium starts checking their phones by halftime. And sure, that kind of predictability might help a coach sleep at night, but when excitement walks in wearing number Shedeur Sanders, even safety starts looking like a liability. And here's the kicker, the locker room feels it too. Players aren't dumb. They can tell when a quarterback believes in them, and Shedeur radiates that belief. He plays like every single teammate matters, and that kind of energy spreads fast. Suddenly, everyone starts playing harder, not out of pressure, but pride. That's what real leadership looks like. It's not barked in huddles, it's felt through effort. Right now, though, it feels like Stefanski's playing defense against his own offense, managing outcomes instead of chasing greatness. He's protecting the team from the very thing that could save it. But football, like life, doesn't wait for people to catch up. It forces change.
Put Shedeur Sanders in just for the fuck of it, because he know everything is not going according to plan. I'm telling y'all, it's over his dead fucking body. He's not going willingly. He's not willingly putting Shedeur Sanders in. It's not happening, y'all. We might as well chalk it up, y'all. It's not happening. Even though no matter what we say, no matter what I say, bro, I knew it, y'all. Stefanski gonna have to get fired, y'all. I just don't see Stefanski putting Shedeur in. It would surprise me. It really would, because you know how Stefanski been treating Shedeur.
And when that moment hits, the universe won't ask for Stefanski's permission. It'll just hand the ball to the one who's ready. And Shedeur Sanders, he's been waiting for that handoff his entire life. You can tell by the way he studies, the way he stays calm, the way he prepares, like every practice is an audition for history. He's not waiting out of frustration. He's waiting out of confidence, because deep down he knows his time isn't coming. It's inevitable. And that right there, that's what separates Shedeur Sanders from the rest. He doesn't need Stefanski's approval to know he's the future. He already moves like it, talks like it, plays like it. You can see it in the way he walks out onto the field, head high, calm but commanding. The fans know it, the players feel it, and pretty soon, even the coaching staff won't be able to hide from it. Because when that switch finally flips, it's not going to be a slow transition, it's going to be a detonation. Shedeur will step in and the entire atmosphere will change like a storm rolling through the stadium. The energy will spike, the tempo will rise, and suddenly Cleveland will remember what real football looks like. His presence won't just spark excitement, it'll ignite belief. The passes will hit with precision, the offense will stop tiptoeing around the playbook, and the Browns will finally look like a team that enjoys dominating again. You'll see it in the players' eyes, in the rhythm of the huddle, in the way the crowd erupts every time the ball leaves his hand. And maybe, just maybe, Stefanski will look back and realize the hard truth. Experience isn't the same thing as evolution. Playing it safe doesn't build dynasties, it just delays greatness. Sometimes the smartest move isn't holding tight to what's familiar. It's having the guts to trust what's next. And what's next? It's already here. His name is Shedeur Sanders, and he's about to flip the script on the entire franchise. So if you're ready to see how this story unfolds, hit that like button, subscribe to stay locked in, share this with a real Browns fan, and I'll see you on the next one.